What's up, everybody? Welcome back to This Old Trike. Today, I don't know. I've lost track. Uh, I've recorded some things that weren't like anything special for one video, and I've moved on to other things, and so I've got a bunch of disjointed videos. So, what I'm going to do is do a catch-up video. We're going to show you how my ATC 70 projects went off to the powder coater as well as that 86 350X. The next step of me doing all that is to get things ready for plating. I've had a bunch of ups and downs with that. I'll share that with you. If you've been following me on TikTok, you're probably pretty current with where I'm at. I'm sure it's me doing stuff wrong, but I'll share all that with you. And I'll take you through today. So that being said, let's jump in. I forget what day this is, but I'll lay it over top. It was a couple weeks ago that I did the final push to get the ATC 70 frames ready, and then we'll pick up with you shortly. The shop is atrocious, guys. The shop is out of control. I just came out here with a nice cup of coffee and my mug from Blue Line Graphics. You guys have one of those? But I was having some issues yesterday when I was out here. I'm looking for some tools and I'm not finding what I need. And I think it's because I've let the shop just get ridiculous. So the best way to spend my time right now is to slow down to speed up. We're gonna spend an hour or two just getting some things organized. I'm gonna get the 350X. I'm gonna get the red Big Red and the blue Big Red out and sweep the floors, put some tools away, stack some parts, organize some parts, and start fresh. So pause with me while I do that. All right, so I didn't go full clean, I guess. I don't know. It's a struggle. You get things open up and you're like, oh, I can do this now. So what are some of the things I could do since I had space? So this is the tire I couldn't get off the rim, and I discovered why. Because they used some sort of orange sealant to seal the bead. And it was a struggle to break that free. This rim, the inner dish of the two-piece rim wasn't that bad, so I wanted to peel that off, and I've got plenty of rims that are worse than this, so if I develop a set of spare rims that I can use, as I pull machines in to spruce them up, I can swap tires around, take the lesser rims to get powder coated, and repeat until everything's got nice rims, so that's cool. But yeah, I had to cut this out I cut it out, and then I cut that, and then I was able to peel it off, and I've wire wheeled this to help my powder coater. So actually, now that I've told you that, I can put this here. And then I thought, shoot, I got to get these ready for powder coat. So I was attempting to remove the seals and bearings out of these, and I forget who told me the trick. This was rusted in, and somebody told me, I can't remember, put a bead of weld on the inside race, and it will loosen things up. It'll shrink the metal, and it did. So the bearing puller actually wouldn't work on those, so I did have to pound them out. But I am amassing this pile of stuff. I've got the axle spacers there for the pink palomino. Those will get powdered. I've got a nice set in there that I'll probably have powder coated for Bennett's. Where are the other ones? Over here. These were all pitted up. I wire wheeled them just to see what I was looking at. So I think what I'm going to do is get a nice set off of Spanglers for my wife. Some aluminum ones, since she's getting the aluminum rims. We'll get some matchy-matchy going on. But from this point, now I can put these tools away. I didn't wheel this big red out. But we will get there. I'm going to do a floor sweep before I go in. But then I'm going to head in. I've got to order some things. Oh, these are the hubs that came off of Bennett's machine. I forgot that somebody had done that. So those had a long bolt and a washer and a nut. So I'm not going to try to repair that. I think Allison's might get some hubs too. We'll see. We shall see. And this is a battery box off the pink palomino, obviously, if you couldn't tell. Had a local guy make 2 of these. And then I realized why other ones are designed like this, because to drop a battery in, then you've got no way to pull it out. This uses a strap, one of these straps, Honda part, to catch up there and to catch down here and holds the battery in. So I will cut this. I will cut the front off and try to cut across here and maybe use something to make a tab so I can get a couple more of these straps now that I know the part number and make this more user-friendly. I got 2 of these, and I've got another one of those. I cut it down. It actually sits too low, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, we're going to call it for now. Maybe hit it again tomorrow. Thanks for watching. All right, I'm out here with Bennett. We're trying to lay some things out and figure out what we're doing. I still haven't picked up my mess from yesterday. But I got these forks pulled out from Backroad Speed and Design. That's our buddy Jacob Rowe. If you want to get a set of these forks and triple trees, that's what you do. I only pulled out one because we were discussing colors and what we need to powder coat what, and we're going to keep that a secret for the time being. But we got Bennett's, Palin's, and Mama Frazier's. Mine's going a little bit different direction, so I don't need that stuff. But anyway, next step in our process, I picked up a new Milwaukee, or the famous people say Milwaukee.
In fact, isn't Milwaukee an Indian name?
Yes, Pete, it is. Actually, it's pronounced Milwaukee, which is Algonquin for the good land.
Step bit here. This is to pay homage to my buddy Nick from West Michigan Motorsports. I couldn't find a Craftsman step bit, so I went with Milwaukee. So we're going to drill some holes. This is to help us hide wiring. So we got 4 holes to drill, and we'll get these set up and you'll see what we're doing. All right, I've laid my battery box up where it's going to go, and basically right in this area. Doesn't have to be precise. We're going to drill a hole right here. We've eyed it with the grommet that we're going to put there, and that's going to allow our wires to run through the frame, pop out there, and go to the battery and the solenoid. So we've got the plan. I'm going to have Bennett do the honors. So we cut to the chase. That was pretty much everything my new bit had to give, 7/8. That fits this grommet from Harbor Freight, the 1-inch diameter. So 7/8 will work. Pretty snug. I'm going to run some wires through it and see how I like it. Okay, we've drilled and tapped the holes to put the plates on from Lee, Brunskill, and each frame has a hole for the wiring. They're all electric start, so they've all got battery boxes, they've all got solenoids, so all the frames are ready for powder. I need to double, triple check that I've got everything I need there. We got our rims laid out over here. I'm going to do just a little bit of prep on those. And then we'll be going to the powder coat shop later this week. Oh, well, it is finally happening here. I'm doing some test fits, just mocking up, making sure my modified battery box will clear everything it's got to clear. And this one's good. This one I cut and failed to consider how that hole goes above the top of it. So I had to modify that and weld a piece on. Hindsight, just buy your battery boxes from Gordon Spangler. I had these made up long before I bought my stuff from Gordon, and I paid more for the basic box that I had made. I paid $90 for both, and I think you can get them from Gordon for $35, and they're just better, and they're ready to bolt on. So live and learn. Okay, so I'm going to test fit this one now just to make sure that we're good to go before we send everything off to powder. Okay, that did not fit how I had it. Ended up having to cut the piece I welded on to make it work. And I welded an extension on, but this one was a little goofy. Again, just buy them from Gordon. Save yourself a whole bunch of trouble. And now I can continue on with my powder coat prep. I'll give you an update when I get some piles made. All right, we've done our sorting. We've done our test fitting. We've got the pink palomino and associated parts in these bags ready to go, broken up by color. This is Bennett's, so he's going to be black and some gold. Allison's is going to be all purple. We got 350X parts, shock spring, swinger, and frame. That's going to be the tank for my 70, which is over here. It doesn't have a whole lot to it. It's got a suspended front end that we're putting on it, so that doesn't need to be powdered. And I've got a lot of billet stuff for the back end, so there's not much. Oh, I do need a seat bracket. Let's not forget that. What else? I think that might be it. I think I had everything laid out, but where's that seat bracket? So we're going to be doing that last minute stuff as we make our way out. Stay tuned for how nice this will look when it's all powdered. We are bagged and tagged. Let's get loaded. Okay, we're all loaded up. I think we got everything. If I did forget anything, I know when I get to my 88 Big Red build, I'm going to have some other things done. And plus, when I started this, I was going to do this 350X, and that's the frame that I thought was an 86 that turned out to be an 85. I'm going to hold out and wait for an 86 frame. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. Too many irons in the fire. let's shut the shop down. We'll drop these off at my buddy Mike's powder shop, Capital Region Customs in Amsterdam, New York. If you are around the area, I highly recommend Mike. He is a great guy, and his wife Christina do a fantastic job. It's snowing here a little bit. I'm gonna throw a strap on those frames so they don't go for a ride. I got all my bags in this box here, and the frame, not that it's getting special treatment, but it's in the back seat because it's just big. I don't want to leave my tonneau cover open, have everything get snowy, but it's happening. I'm excited. Okay, so I don't know what I just showed you, but at the risk of repeating myself, let me give you the update of what is happening right now, and then I'll update you at the end of the day too. But here's right now. We got the sled in the shop. We had to change out the spark plugs, and turns out these spark plugs are hard to get a hold of, so they're going to be here Tuesday. This is where I had my vibratory tumbler set up. If you remember, I bought a vibratory tumbler from Harbor Freight, and I've since killed it. This thing is only running for like 15 minutes at a time before the motor just cuts out, and I think it was because I probably put too much stuff in it and let it run for too long. So the reason I was running that was to clean up hardware, and I thought I was onto something. I was running all this hardware through, all this and so much more. And I'll show you just, everything that I've run through that. Most of that is in that container. I ran it through the tumbler with this media, the little green pyramids. And it seemed like it was doing what I wanted it to. And as I pulled stuff out, I was doing it dry, which turns out a lot of people do it with a detergent in there. And I've learned that might have saved me from caking all my threads with dust, especially the threads inside the nuts, which that's proved to be a problem. So in order to get things clean, I got a nice bucket of warm soapy water, and I agitated it in there. I pulled everything out and set it, and it dried, and it looked better. But then I realized that I didn't get all the rust off of things, and all the threads were caked, both on nuts and bolts, and I had more work to do. And then I thought, well, somebody recommended crushed walnut shell, so I put some crushed walnut shell in here. This thing had stopped running consistent, so I moved it here on the floor where it wouldn't burn the shop down, and ran crushed walnut shell through it with some pieces, and that really wasn't doing the trick. So tried ultrasonic. That really wasn't doing the trick. So most everything's been going through the wire wheel. And look at my little nubbin. So I got to put some new wire wheels on and finish up. But I've cleaned things up, with the exception of this, which is just so fine. I'm going to let that just be treated by the acid before this gets plated. I'm going to send all these out for plating. So these will all be nice, bright, and shiny when they come back. And I've got a little bit left to do. I've got multiple projects worth of hardware here. That's 87-200X. The ATC 70 hardware's in there, so it's a bunch of stuff. And it's some spare stuff I had, so I'll be ready to hit the ground running. But my goal today is to get through all this and be shipping this stuff out to the plater tomorrow morning. And that's where I'm going to leave you right now. We'll pick up with what happened today. Well, I didn't get everything done that I wanted to. I ran some stuff through the ultrasonic just to see what would happen. Still got that bin of bolts to do. Camera's not following me. Just realized I got this thing of nuts to do. I made it through this. Almost, this is the container I was bringing everything over with. This is really full though, so, geez. what's going on with my gimbal here. But a lot of stuff in here. I don't know how many pounds this weighs, but it's going to be a big heavy box, probably 2. And we'll get that shipped off. But that's where we're going to leave it. This is like the Seinfeld of YouTube videos, a video about nothing. And it's all part of it, I guess. There's sexy moments and there's not sexy moments, and this is one of the not sexy moments. It's just taking forever to get it all done, but it all ships out tomorrow. I'm going to give it one last organizational push in the morning before I go to work, and that'll be it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for Hoarder of the Week interview this coming week. Binky Tapscott has been nominated and elected, so I'm sorting out the details with him to do that video, and should be a good one. It's the one everyone wants to hear, so get excited. And then I got some exciting stuff coming up at the end of the week, so can't tell you what it is, but stay tuned for that, and I guarantee you won't want to miss it. But thanks for watching as always. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you next time.